everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Financial Investor channel. My name is Brent, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the weekly recap for the week of October 16th through the 20th. Now, I cover a little bit of the index's change for the week, so on my Facebook page, I did post the weekly recap. The S&P 500. Basically all the indexes did very well this week. They were all positive. The Dow Jones hit record-breaking record highs multiple days in a row, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they fell back Thursday and then picked back up Friday. My portfolio took hits, like hits to the gut on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, recovered Thursday and Friday, ending in just a positive 0.018% of my portfolio. I did round it up here in the actual text, but here in the photo when I did my math, it was only 0.018. So my portfolio did not beat the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones. So that's unfortunate, but it happened. So S&P 500 had 5 out of 5 positive days. 5-day change was 0.86%. and 15.02% year to date. That's very nice for the S&P 500. Now the Dow Jones was also 5 for 5 positive days this week and had a 5-day change of 2%. And year to date is 18.04. 18.04. The Dow Jones, so it had record-breaking highs on Monday, record-breaking highs on Tuesday, and then shot up gigantic on Wednesday, fell back a bit Friday, picked it right back up early hours on Friday, and continued into record-breaking highs on Friday. So amazing week for the Dow Jones. Increase year to date 18.04. Nasdaq had 3 out of the 5 positive days, 5-day change of 0.35%, and year to date of 23.15. Now I want to ask you guys a question. Do you believe that the Dow Jones in the next 2 months will catch up with the S&P 500? Or I'm sorry, the Nasdaq. Do you believe that the Dow Jones within the end of, say, December, do you believe that it'll catch up or begin to get near the Nasdaq's 23% gain? It's only a gain of 5%, and if the Dow Jones can continue to hit record-breaking highs, next week, maybe not 2%, maybe 0.8 or 1%, whereas maybe the Nasdaq will fall back a little bit, with Apple and their sales of the iPhone 8, and that's kind of what's hurting the Nasdaq a little bit, I believe. But let me know what you think will happen in the comments below. Now, as far as my portfolio goes, I was hit in the gut by AT&T. If we go over here and we take a look at my 1 month change, now Merrill Edge's Market Pro does not have a 5-day change on here. I did open up a feedback and let them know, I would really like this 5-day change added. I gave them CNN's URL as an example. They include a 5-day change. Some investors do like to just see it from week to week to kind of make historical records, and he thought it was a good idea. So we may see that change in the future, and if it does happen, that would be because I submitted that feedback, and they actually called me on it, so that's kind of interesting. So anyways, I do have a change for 1 month, and my biggest change for this month was AT&T, and they put out some news last week talking about their subscriber loss. They lost some, I believe it was some 200 or 300,000 subscribers for the old cable system. They did gain like 100, I believe it was like 180,000 subscribers on their new DirecTV, their new direct service. I forgot what it's called now. I'm blanking out. It's 2 a.m. But they only had a 90,000 difference, and I believe that eventually, because they are moving to be a subscriber in subscribers style business instead of cable, they're able now to compete with Netflix and Amazon that is streaming to your phone, and they're not going to charge you data. You're not going to have a data cap on that, so you're going to be able to stream that anywhere. And would you rather have to pay for a service? Now AT&T is, I saw their ads, they're offering this DirecTV service, the streaming service, for free when you're signing up for their AT&T package deal, and that could make users that are using Netflix and Amazon, or at least Netflix, because Amazon offers 2-day and all sorts of other perks, whereas Netflix only offers you streaming. Disney's pulling out of Netflix. There's other providers that are pulling out of Netflix, I believe, and beginning to do their own style of their own videos and such. So I think it'll be a good competition. I know Netflix didn't meet their EPS. Actually, I think they did beat their EPS and their revenue, but I remember reading a little bit on that. Anyway, so AT&T. Before I ramble, so AT&T, they basically told the investors, brace for impact. They talked a little bit about their subscriber loss. They talked a little about how Hurricane Harvey took out some of the area that they provide services in, and that hurt their revenue, and it also did a little bit of damage. So they talk a little about here. Partial pre-announcement: in the wake of the season's natural disasters. So they kind of just let their investors know, and because of that, there was a bit of a sell-off here. If we go to our fundamentals tab and we just take a look at the corporate, it's not what I want to do. I want to go to research. That's not it. I believe it's watched. I'm still learning this thing here, so sorry if it's a little bit crazy. So I do have the 5-day change here, and actually, I believe it's a little bit more, maybe 14-day. So here we can see that AT&T took a huge loss right here. Lots of sell-off here. Another, AT&T just overall when this news. So this is 14 days. I'm not sure what date. I think this is. So this is last week. So here's Friday. Here's Friday right now. Here's Friday of last week. So Friday of last week was when this article, I believe, was written here, October 19th. So this is actually yesterday, Thursday, but some of the news came out last week, which caused a major sell-off on Friday, caused the stock to dip down into the $35 range. Let's see here. If we go back to the fundamentals, so here it tells us that our 52-week low was $35.10, and that was back on September 8th, 2017. With their earnings being released on October 24th, I believe. Yeah, October 24th. I do believe that they will fall back even further. I don't know if it'll break below that $35.10. So I am actually going to be picking up a few shares at around $35.15. I'm going to put a couple limit buys at $35.15, $35.10, $35, just see if I can pick up some additional shares, increase my equity in that stock while it's low. There are other articles out there talking against AT&T, saying that it could be a dying business and the dividend is in jeopardy, but with their merger with Time Warner, their DirecTV service, they're switching over to this new subscription model. I believe that the future for them looks very bright. They're transitioning from a provider of cable and turning into more of a streaming, which is what you need to do in order to compete with Netflix and Amazon and all these other streaming services. So I do think future-wise they have a lot going for them, and they're not being sued like Verizon with that Yahoo scandal. So let's see here. One other thing I did want to talk to you guys about. There was a executive order amended on Friday, and all they did was they amended a specific portion here, and if you read a little bit about it, Trump decided, he signed an executive order to draft retired pilots back into the military service. He mentioned in here that because of national emergencies, in the declaration of national emergencies and the terrorist attacks and such, he said that retirees could be drafted to come back into service, up to 1,000 retired pilots. So it could be something that is in preparation for something in the future. But as of now, he has just mentioned 911 terrorist attacks and possible declarations of national emergencies by reason of terrorist attacks. These retirees could be called upon. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of the Dow Jones being able to topple and you think they will get get near the Nasdaq? And then AT&T, do you think it's a buy? Do you think it's a leave it alone, don't poke it with a stick? And what do you think about the executive order that President Trump made to bring in 1,000 retired pilots back into the military service? So go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Again, I do want to thank you for watching my channel, and if you have watched up until this point, pat yourself on the back. I know I stumbled a little bit through this recording. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, and I thought it'd be a great time to record, but it's obviously not. So that is it for this video. If you did like the video, hit the like button below. Please remember to subscribe if you are brand new to my channel. I do make financial, stock market, and investment videos weekly, so do consider subscribing for that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And of course, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.